Before we get into the complication of dividing a polynomial by another polynomial, let's talk about how we divide a polynomial by a monomial. Let's suppose we want to divide 3x to the fifth plus 2x squared minus 7x plus 4 by 5x. Well, what we're really asking is, what do we need to multiply by 5x to get 3x to the fifth plus 2x squared minus 7x plus 4? And when we say what, we mean what polynomial? Well, if we multiply 5x by a polynomial, we'll just multiply term by term, won't we? So we'll have 5x times something gives us this result that we want. We haven't really talked about using the area method to multiply by monomials, but there's no reason that we shouldn't. We'll be multiplying by 5x. We'll multiply 5x by our first term, and we'll get 3x to the fifth. What would we need to multiply 5x by to get 3x to the fifth? Well, the x part is easy, right? What times x gives me x to the fifth? I'll need x to the fourth. The coefficient is a little bit tougher. What times 5 gives me 3? Well, 3/5 times 5 gives me 3. So this gives me the first term of my quotient, 3/5 x to the fourth. All right, well, when I multiply by my second term, I need to get 2x squared. Again, x times x will give me x squared. That part's easy. What times 5 will give me 2? It'll have to be 2/5. My next term, when I multiply it by 5x, is going to need to give me negative 7x. I'm not going to need any x's here at all. I'll just need the number negative 7/5. And then, what about 4? There isn't any polynomial that I can multiply by 5x to get 4. If I multiply any monomial by 5x, my result's going to have an x in it. So 4 is going to be my remainder. This gives me the answer to this division problem. This polynomial divided by 5x is 3/5 x to the fourth plus 2/5 x minus 7/5, remainder 4. What do I mean when I make this claim? The claim that I'm making is if I take 5x times 3/5 x to the fourth plus 2/5 x minus 7/5, and then add a 4 on, well, my claim is I will get 3x to the fifth plus 2x squared minus 7x plus 4. Let's see if that's really the case. Here we're multiplying a monomial by a trinomial. So we'll distribute 5x times 3/5 x to the fourth. You can, if you like, use a calculator to check that 5 times 3/5 gives me 3. X times x to the fourth is x to the fifth. 5x times 2/5 x. Well, 5 times 2/5 again gives me 2. X times x is x squared. 5 times negative 7/5, that'll be negative 7, x, and then the plus 4 stays a plus 4, and this is what I hoped to see. What process did we use? Well, we went term by term, right? For each term of the polynomial, we have a term of our quotient. Remember, the answer to a division problem is called the quotient. For each term of the polynomial, we have a term of our quotient that, when we multiply it by the monomial we're dividing by, our divisor, it gives that term, almost for each, right? Here, we couldn't find anything for 4. Why couldn't we find anything for 4? Well, there's nothing we can multiply 5x by to get 4. Why? 5x times anything will have an x in it. The problem is that 4 is lower degree than 5x. Now, when we start bringing in extra variables, this gets a little bit complicated. We're going to focus on dividing by a monomial in one variable. We're going to stick with polynomial division for polynomials in one variable. And this is it. So we go term by term through the polynomial, finding in turn the terms of our quotient. And again, the area model can help us organize our work. Let me give you one of these to try. Work this division problem. Pause the video and try this now. All right, for each term, we need to decide what times 2x squared will give me this term. So our first term is 2x to the 7th. Well, 2 times what gives me 2? 2 times 1 gives me 2. X squared times what gives me x to the 7th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll need an x to the 5th. X to the 5th times x squared gives me x to the 7th. All right, my next term is 8x to the 5th. 2 times what will give me 8? 2 times positive 4 will give me 8. X squared times what will give me x to the 5th? X squared times x cubed will give me x to the 5th. All right, next term, negative 6x squared. 2 times what will give me negative 6? 2 times negative 3 gives me negative 6. X squared times what will give me x squared? Oh, well, I don't need any x's in this term. So then my last two terms, these are lower degree than my 2x squared. So they are my remainder. My answer is x to the 5th plus 4x cubed minus 3, remainder 2x plus 3.